Hi, I'm Pat Winters-Lauro, and I'm a professor at Kean, and I'm a former journalist. And I'm also an aging baby boomer that's having a lot of trouble with this, but so bear with me. But I'm talking today about online resources to fight fake news. And I don't, if you're in here, I think you already know that most people distrust. This has happened to be from the fall. Most people in America distrust information that they're getting from the media, and that's a big problem. And this is from a poll. As you can see, it was in the Detroit News, and I pulled out a quote. "We are living today in the biggest period of false information in history, and we Americans are largely doing it to ourselves. Americans are losing trust in what they read and see online. We're desperate for information, but certain groups feel they cannot trust the traditional institutions upon which they used to rely." So that's the situation we're in today in this country. And I'm going to move over to some websites to talk about what I think. Wow. Okay, here we go. So here's the first one. I thought we'd start with a little quiz. So this session is about things you can use in your class, no matter what the class is, either just to break up the day to introduce something new, or if it's aligned with the subject you're teaching, because disinformation affects all disciplines. So this is a little quiz from newslet.org, and it asks the students, or asks whoever's taking it, to decide, is this something you can share? So this particular image was posted on Facebook by an ordinary user. So you can see the image, I hope. And it says here, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert took this group on a guided tour of the Capitol one day before the insurrection. 3 of the people participated and knew exactly where to go. So the question is this credible, fact-based information that is well-sourced and safe to share? Or is it false, misleading, or unverified information and is not safe to share? So since you can't answer me, I'll play devil's advocate and I'll say it's credible. Okay, that's wrong. Sorry, that's an old photo. This photo was actually taken in 2019 at a gun rights rally in Denver, Colorado. While the Capitol Police are investigating whether some lawmakers gave improper access to people involved in the riot on January 6th, this photo is being presented in a false context. Okay, this is very typical. I actually have my own presentation, an old one on fake news, and I used in 2017 an image that President Donald Trump shared. It was an anti-Muslim image, but it was from many years before, so it didn't even match what he was saying. So events like the siege on the Capitol prompt strong emotions, which can make people react to information with less caution than they ordinarily might. Also, screenshots of social media posts, in this case, posted a tweet, can be more difficult to verify and fact check. So moving on, this particular organization, newslet.org, they had that quiz, but they have lots of other quizzes. And as you can see, here's one, Get Smart About COVID-19. They have one here, Fighting Falsehoods on Social Media. Can you make sense of data? That's a tough one. And they also have one, I think this one was the easiest quiz in the world. What's the First Amendment? So that's a good one too. It's just something to break up your class for the moment. The second group I'm bringing you to is the Center for Newsliteracy.org, and they are headquartered at SUNY Stony Brook out on Long Island. And they have many resources for especially K-12, but also for college level. And they have news literacy as a requirement at Stony Brook. Every student at the university must take the course. And what I would do is I would take you to here, to the curriculum toolbox. And then that would take you to choose a category. So you would obviously pick, depending on what category you're in. And they have things like this. I picked college instructors, and here's one. It talks about how to deconstruct a viral video. And what they're giving you here is an actual video that went viral. And I'm just going to put it on for a second. Oh, I don't think you can hear it or see it, actually. You could? Okay, well, anyway, it's a viral video that purportedly showed a man jumping from a plane 9,000 feet above the earth with no parachute. You can see him here, dropping through a small opening in a roof and onto a trampoline. And thanks to social media, it didn't take too long to go viral. People thought it was real. It takes a while. Let's see. Let's see the jump. Goes on and on and on. Let's see if we can get the actual jump here. Well, I'm going to move on. Oh, there it is. Here. So it looks real, right? But it's not real. Okay. It went all over the place. And then this is a lesson in what they've dubbed in vain, independent. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it explains what you should look for: independent sources, multiple sources, things that journalists know, just by doing the job. So this is and also this is a great resource center for lots of materials, just like the other one with the quiz. So they're both excellent. Then there's also things like NPR. You have to click around a bit. This happens to be a whole 26-minute lesson audio on how to spot misinformation. It's interesting, and they have a whole storyline, and they give you some tips on what you should be doing, what your students should be doing to be critical, use their critical thinking skills when they are facing information. Here's another site. Now this one is an activist group. So depending on where you stand, you might not like this group. So I'm going to just put that out there. But they are an activist group, and they're fighting disinformation. And they do have some tips, but also you could use it just to show, like, for instance, this photograph here, it shows this person, conducting cannibalism, and it's totally fake. And it was, these hateful lies were used about the Rohingya community, the minority in Myanmar. And these kind of claims were launched by the military and anti-Muslim groups. You know that the military just took over Myanmar to justify their ethnic cleansing. So that was one. I believe that went viral. And this is another one, sort of like the one I just showed you before, or talked about before, where President Trump had a similar one. This one is showing migrants destroying a police car. But here's the problem. It's not migrants destroying a police car. It's entirely fake. It's actually from a movie and was debunked years ago, but it's still on the web. So internet, sorry. I wanted to make you aware of Poynter, Poynter.org. It's a continuing education school for journalists. And they have a lot of free resources. They have fact-checking resources. As you can see here, there's a whole bunch. Here's one, Teen Fact-Checking Network. And this particular one I clicked on is how to use your phone to spot fake images. And I just wanted to go over it really quick because, number one, they talk to you about asking questions and being skeptical, something reporters are just deep in their heart. When you ask questions like, if this looks, when was this picture taken? You cannot trust things online. And students need to know this. Where was the picture taken? People trust it because it's in their Instagram. Oh, it's my friend. And that gives it a veneer of trust, which you shouldn't look at it that way. So anyway, you can do a reverse image search in Google, and you can also use something called TinEye, which does a reverse image search and shows you where this photograph originated. And that's how you find out things like the Rohingya and the other one, which were lies. Before I go on, I just wanted to show you this particular site. It's called All Sides. It has a media bias chart, which is in my PowerPoint, but Also is just a great place to get a media bias chart, where the media falls. And if you have stories, like for instance, Biden considering first major federal tax increase, not fact checking, it's telling you left, right, and center. So I appreciate your attention. And I posted a link on the presenter chat, which I think you can download if you'd like to get, my slides, and then you can see the links I posted. Thank you very much.